was hard on the case of closely examining my eyelids. I heard a ringing and wasn't sure if it was the phone or my head. Must have been quite a night.
I wonder how much I had. Stone Investigation Agency.
Is this Miles Stone?
Yeah, this is Stone. Who are you? What do you want?
Mr. Stone, until recently, my name is Martha Dubuque. My husband has been in a coma.
Listen, hun. I've got something heavy on my mind right now that I have to take care of. Why don't you come by my office around noon?
I don't know if this can wait that long, Mr. Stone.
Listen, just give me a couple of hours. I'll see what I can do.
I hated to be so rude to her. I need a drink. Same thing every day. Someone born, someone dies, crime goes on. Just another day on the calendar. Each day is still just the day after yesterday. I've got a couple of hours to kill. A walk always clears my mind. How's it go, Joe?
Not bad, Miles. Same as yesterday. Just in cleaning up some of this trash. Putting it back in the dumpster where it belongs. See you tomorrow, Miles.
Alright, it's a date then. Hey, Lady Liberty. You gonna stand around all day, or are you gonna come in?
I'll have you know, Mr. Stone, that I've been waiting outside your door for 20 minutes.
Please, call me Miles. Take a seat. Sorry I was late. I had some unavoidable business I had to take care of. So what's the problem,
Mrs. Dubuque. My husband, Franklin Dubuque, has been in the hospital in a coma for the past year. Last night he was reported missing. The staff didn't notice anyone entering or exiting his room, and they don't know if he's still alive or...
Kick the bucket. I momentarily thought of offering her a scotch, but dames don't usually appreciate stuff like that. Last time I did, I came out like last week's laundry, smelly and decidedly worse for the wear. She'd finally gained her composure and shut the hell up for a moment.
So for my scene there, I just really want to see my husband back.
I understand. I just need a bit more information.
Well, my husband has been in the
Now
circus.
that's the
He used
kind
to
of
be a
information
juggler.
I was
He
looking
juggling.
for. I take the case.
But I didn't even get to finish.
We'll discuss the details later, maybe over drinks.
Sounds good to me. The Paris Noir at 7?
Got it, babe.
What's going down, Flatfoot?
Hey, Copper. I'm on a big case tonight.
What's her name this time?
You read me like a book. Her husband, he's gone missing.
How lucky for you.
If only. Have you heard of any missing hospital patients?
Not that I know of. The nurses don't like me hanging around there. But I could look into it for you. I do owe you one.
Thanks, Copper. Where would I be without you? Watch where you're pointing that thing, Frankie.
Come on, Miles. You know I never keep it loaded. I haven't seen you around for a while, Miles. What have you come to old Frankie for?
Heard anything about missing coma patient? He was in the hospital. Went missing last night, I guess. His wife's pretty shook up about it.
You going to be doing some comforting tonight?
I'm strictly with her on business. Tonight. But cut the bacon, Frankie. What's the word on the street?
There's a new guy on the streets, Elliot Flood. Word has it that he's been finding some bodies with slugs in them. Nobody's quite sure where he's hiding out or who he is. It could be Officer Smith for all I know. Say, Miles, what have you been up to lately?
The only slugs I've seen recently are the ones that shrivel up when I put salt on them. Thanks for the update, Frankie. Go buy yourself some bullets.
What happened?
A gift from a five-finger beauty queen. Have you ordered yet?
No.
Hey, Charlie. A couple of scotches on the rocks.
Gotcha.
I don't drink, Mr. Miles.
And Charlie, the Coke for the ladies.
Yeah. Who are you?
It's Miles. Miles, Charlie. I tell you, it's nice to come into a place where everybody knows your name. So tell me, did your husband have any enemies?
There was this one guy, Max Peters.
Did he know him from his circus days?
Circus?
Didn't you say your husband worked in the circus?
Oh yeah, that was when he was younger. That was a long time ago.
I should pay more attention to these details. Yeah. Yeah.
Should we finish this at your place?
Well, that would probably be an enjoyable prospect. But I've been nursing this aching headache all day. And it would probably do us both some good if I went home and got some beauty rest.
I understand. I'll stop by in the morning.
Aren't you a sweetheart? I'll make an extra egg just for you. It's a date lunch. This is turning into a very enjoyable case. Wait a second. When did that building get there? Nothing like an empty apartment to welcome you home.
Hello, Mr. Stone.
I said to call me Miles, babe. You're not Martha.
Sorry to disappoint you.
Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm not disappointed.
That makes two of us.
Guess so.
Her husband was never in a coma.
Where was he then? With you?
Don't be ridiculous. Franklin wasn't even her husband.
Lovers?
Franklin Dubuque doesn't exist.
That makes today seem kind of pointless. So where do you come in? Did you kill him? Seduce him? How many times?
Could you take over for me while I go freshen up?
Sure.
It's Martha.
Come on in, baby.
I see you remembered an egg for me.
Of course. Wouldn't forget you.
Well, aren't you a darling?
So I've been thinking about this case.
Well, I hope so. That's what I hired you for.
So what was your husband doing when he fell into the coma?
He owned a circus.
I thought he only did that when he was young.
He bought it when he was older. I can show you the pictures if you're not convinced.
Alright, let's see him.
Now?
Of course now. I'm done with my eggs. Just let me go grab something and get my coat.
I'll get a cab. Over here, Miles.
You got close, Miles. Too close.
Too close to what?
The Feldman case, Miles, the Feldman case. I spent years working out every little detail for that operation. I had the oil companies in my pocket. Their coffers, too. I had it all, Miles, until you decided to take the case. So we had to kill you, Miles. But you just wouldn't die, would you? I couldn't get rid of you then, so I'm finishing up the job now, personally.
What are you talking about, Joe?
Of course you wouldn't remember. The drugs at the hospital took care of that. And now, Miles, you will die.
That's what you think. Where the hell's my gun?
What are you doing here? It's been years.
You ripped me big time in the Feldman case. You found out I was working from both sides and betrayed me. You ruined my life, and now you're out to ruin Miles's, aren't you?
You fool. You don't know the first thing about Miles. From the first day we found out he woke up, we had everything set up perfectly. Until you came along. You gave him doubt. And that is the catalyst that brought him here today. And now he's dead by now. And there's nothing you can do about it.
No, you are.
Goodbye, Miles.
Frankie, I see you finally bought yourself some backbone.
Took your advice and put your money to good use for once. Bought myself some slugs that don't shrivel when you put salt on them.
Keep the change, Frankie.
I'm gonna go get the police, Miles.
Okay.
I suppose I better give this back. Thanks, it came in handy.
Say, hun, are you going to be joining me for eggs tomorrow? So, honey cheeks, what happened to Martha?
I ripped her up. We won't have to worry about hearing from her ever again.
But what about Franklin? What if he comes back? And what did that Elliot Flood have to do with all this?
Don't you get it? There never was a Franklin. The Joe you know was her husband. His real name is Elliot Flood. He wasn't in a coma. You were in a coma. You've been in a coma for the past year. You woke up 2 days ago.
What are you talking about, Liz? I haven't missed a day. I went to bed on the 8th and woke up on the 9th.
But what year, Miles? What year? They tried to kill you, and when the hospital found your body, they couldn't identify it. You leave no personal records. No driver's license, no family, no friends of any consequence. They set you up, Miles. They set you up to die.
Then how did I get back into my office? Why don't I remember any of this?
Of course you couldn't remember any of it. You were in a drug-induced state when you wandered back to your office. They set you up, Miles. They set you up to die.
And you led me on. For what? Your revenge? You never cared about me. You never cared about anyone but yourself.
Didn't any of the time we spent together mean anything to you?
She said it herself. I was a loner. I couldn't stick with anyone. But sometimes things just happen. They can't be avoided, and it's a harsh reality of life. But I'm a private eye. It's my job, and my life. There may not have been a real Franklin Dubuque case, but I think I've got a new lead on the Feldman case.